One of the worst things that I did in my decade-long corporate career was chase an unnecessary salary increase and leaving a very strong, healthy job environment that was going to allow me to grow. In my opinion, chasing a 10 to 15K salary increase, depending on where you live, ultimately is never worth it, depending on how great your situation already is. I had a goal to become a director by 30, and I talked to my mentor at the time, and he was like, look, you've been promoted twice, but there isn't any more movement vertically for you at this company, so you might have to go elsewhere. My first job was the perfect environment for me, right? Had a great manager, great director, great ecosystem, and I traded that for essentially, hindsight, it's 2020, a very chaotic startup, which ended up laying off almost 25 to 30% of their employees within a few months. Now, everything is a learning lesson, and when you're in your 20s and 30s, you should be maximizing your earning potential, but make it make sense. A 10K increase after taxes, and depending on if you live in a big city, you're not really feeling that increase at all. If you can, establish a great foundation at your first company when you're 22, 23 years old. I did. I got promoted twice, senior level sales to procurement to strategic solutions manager, and I had reps under me at the age of 24. I did everything the right way, but I did not need to take on a new role. I was at my first company for 2.5, 3 years, I think 3 years, and I'm chasing a new opportunity. Now, it did segue into a different industry, but it was only for a 10K increase. The best number for me to really entertain a salary increase at bare minimum is 15K, but I think it's at 20, 25. That's where you're gonna feel it. Anything less, 10, 8, 5K, that is not an increase, right? In your brain, just for the sake of numbers go, you increase, but you really didn't. Don't chase it.
No, hang on. Let's do real
That
quick.
was some real spill.
For real.
He ate down.
He definitely ate down because money is amazing. It's lovely. It's juicy. We love it. But so is the culture of that company. So is the benefits. So are the things that you can gain. And so if you're trading 15K for none of that in return, you're not going to be happy. So was the money actually really worth it if you have to leave again?
No, I agree. Like, oh man, I could talk about this like a little bit. No, but you know what? I never chased just like a small increase. I think by the time I left Optiv, I was getting either 105 or 115. I can't remember. Matter of fact, while I was interviewing with Goldman Sachs, I knew I was getting 130, 135. But like I said, I knew I was getting I had negotiated for the year following. So when January or February 2022 started, that I was going to get a bonus of 30K. So I made a strategic move there because one, the name recognition, the salary, and what I thought I was going to be doing there, I played it smart. So I didn't try to just move for anything because at the time I was remote. So it was a good environment. I was moving around. People knew my name based on my manager bragging on me. The client liked me. I was like one of the only analysts that actually went out to Burbank to the client because they liked me so much back in 2019. I wish I could put the pictures up right here, the mountains I saw in Burbank. But all things being equal, I probably would have never left there because that's been like one of the few places that I got a chance to grow and do things. And I always say a lot of times when it comes to job hopping that people just go through, like you said, you go job hop. Let's say you were making 80,000, so you go job hop to a $90,000 role, but it's the same role. Eventually, you'll probably job hop to 100,000, but now you can't make 150 because you job hop all to the same role, and you're at places where you're going to be pegged right there. You don't get a chance to do anything else. Nobody really leaves the company or comes in, so you're just stuck. And that's what a lot of people don't know about. They're just chasing the bag. Everybody told them to job hop, but they aren't not job hopping smartly. They are not job hopping into the roles that. Well, I have people. We trying to get. What my last guy, I think we did like 40K increase for him. So we doing stuff smart. We not going like for the same stuff. We're interviewing better. Or I just posted about my guy who was interviewing for like the L1 like CTF analyst role at EY, and they say, hey, you did so good. We want to interview you for the senior level role. So most people, he's right. Now, the 10 to 15K will keep up with inflation. But if you got good benefits, you got a great manager where like they're not micromanaging you. If you need to go to the doctor or your kid is sick or something, and they understand that, that's hard to come by. Other people, hey, I seen you was orange on Teams. Where you at? You were like, what you mean where you was at? Like, I went to the bathroom. Like, you'll be like, what's going on here? And so that's why it's really good to try to be as strategic as you can and not simply chase money. Look at what you're getting at your current company now and see if maybe you can't get the 15K there, but maybe if you get the experience, you'll get the role that pays you $20, $25, $30,000 at the next juncture. So just be strategic and pay attention to that. Some people maybe in the comments or eventually whenever you watch this say, hey, everybody ain't able and all that other stuff. But I mean, it's your life. Like at the end of the day, if you're single and stuff like that, it's different. If you're remote, by all means, hey, like if it's just a toxic environment, by all means, leave. You don't have to do what you got to do. You don't need to stay nowhere where they're not treating you the best way that you be treated. So that's all I would say with that.